Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just How I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did some more of the Armorer's questline, and today we're going to go and continue even more. I hope you're feeling competitive, Lynn, for Blanster has submitted a formal challenge, since he needs to recover the pride you cost him with your previous victory. He is an overgrown, sulky child who sees his fellow colleagues as not more than rivals. In his tiny world, all that matters is who is the best, who is the brightest, and who is the most able to provide immediate value to the guild. Now, I would be lying if I said I did not also take such factors into account. You well know my demand for excellence, but the methods we take to reach it differ vastly. Blanster would run a guild of exclusion, one which an adventurer like yourself would have been unwelcome. The sense, one of which, whatever. The lack of sense in that is clear. He may be my equal in strength and technique. In skill and technique. But it is this narrow perspective that weighed the balance against him in our contest for the Guildmaster's chair. I won and he lost. That simple fact plays an enormous role in the enmity that now lies between us. And I'm certain that past defeat is no small part of what fuels Blanster's present desire to prove himself your better. I regret that this ridiculous feud has drawn you into its bitter maw. But if it means seeing that stubborn old dodo put in his place, then I'm just childish enough to myself to encourage you to accept. Blanster awaits you in his usual haunts. Go to him and show you've the steel to pick up the gauntlet he's thrown down. Jesus Christ, mate. I've had just about enough of Hansa's coddling ways. She's raising a generation of slackjaws that look like armorers but ain't fit to wipe the soot from a proper craftsman's backside. Before you know it, folk are starting losing trust in the trade itself. Years of pride and tradition are crumbling to dust around our feet. Course, ever since you bested me in our little competition, my words don't carry the weight they once did. Seems like I've got to take you down a few pegs before I can start putting things alright. Aye, the world needs to know that old Blanster is not to be beaten by one of Hananza's lot, even if it were her prize pup. We'll settle this the old-fashioned way, a 3-round contest of skill. There ain't no point in dragging this out, so let's get straight to the challenge for the first round. The finest mithril queries you can forge. Since I'll be choosing the tasks, we'll leave the appraisal of our work to your precious forge master. I'll be taking my armor to her directly. Once you've shown Hananza your own queries and heard her decision, you bring the piece to me so I can see it for myself. A mithril queries. 2 mithril plates and 1 ring. Right. Or like 1 set of rings, whatever. No. I have not crafted rings yet. There we go. Mr. Curtis. Let's go and start doing my usual technique. There we go. Blanster has already been here to submit his work for appraisal. You have a mithril queries prepared as well, I trust? This is superb craftsmanship, Lynn. It seems the pressure of this challenge have done naught to cloud your eye for detail. In fact, you may have procured your finest piece yet. It is superior to Blanster in every aspect, or in every respect. You think me biased? Yes, it is true that I despise that self-centered windbag, but I mean to judge this contest fairly, and the Rogadin's armor was indeed forged with its customary quality. But it is thus that the brilliance of your queries shines all the more brightly for improving on the work of a master artisan. Mithril is a notoriously difficult material to shape. Yet see the gloss of these plates? Not a single imperfection to mar the surface. I have cast an eye over many a suit of armor, but it is refreshing to know that I can still be impressed. The first one goes to you. I only wish I could be there to see Blansteer weep when you show him the masterpiece you have created. So, another chose your armor over mine, did you? Surprise, surprise. Go on then, pup. That's his bloody work of art. Huh? Well, you've not been neglecting your craft, that much is certain. Can't rightly disagree with your decision, but the next round will be a different story. Can be sure of that. Blansteer has notified me of the challenge for the second round of your contest. Defeat in the first round has humbled him not a whit, it seems. You may have gained an early lead, Lyn, but keep your focus sharp, as I have said before. Complacency can be your downfall. And a man like Blansteer is at his most dangerous when his pride is on the line. Now, according to the wishes of our vindictive veteran, for this next round you are to craft several items, and you must do so within a reasonable time frame, to reflect the pressures of an actual commission. He fails to mention what he considers to be reasonable, so I suggest you work with dispatch. With dispatch, whatever. The challenge requires you to forge a pair of mithril-plated caligae, a reinforced mithril elmo, and a pair of mithril solarates, all of the finest possible quality. Naturally, every one of these items requires an abundance of mithril ore. See how he deliberately chooses the same material as before? Such is Blansteer's confidence in his ability, and his certitude that he cannot be beaten twice under similar conditions. This is your chance to unravel that obnoxious self-assured and end this and enter this contest with a second round victory. If anyone can quench the fury of that insufferable Auroch, Lyn, it is you. Bring your submissions to me once you are satisfied with your forging. Take no shortcuts. I expect to see armor of unsurpassed quality. So, mithril-plated caligae. Caligae, yeah, sorry. Mithril-plated caligae, where are they? There we go. Mithril plate and rivets. So, plates and rivets. Where's the plate? There it is. There it is. But of course, yes. Don't even ask me what the fuck is happening with me. Mithril-plated caligae, okay. Gotta make 100% sure that I'm making the correct thing, because... You know, it would be quite unfortunate if I were to craft the wrong thing. Especially since my crafting materials are relatively limited. Like, I don't want to waste crafting materials. Reinforced mithril elmo. Which requires a mithril elmo. Which I think I saw over here. Yep. 2 plates, 1 set of rivets. And then a piece of boar leather, of which I have only 2 pieces left, and guess what I'm probably going to need for, you know, the actual leatherworker quest line. If you guessed boar leather, then you are correct. But it's fine though. Honestly, getting the boar leather is one of the least annoying ones to get. Because there's like a place in Gridania where there's just a lot of boars in one place. So I'll have to get more of those at some point. Maybe get those off camera. That is if I remember, which I probably won't. Unless, like, until the moment that I actually need it, I'm gonna be like, oh, right. Let's go ahead and get some mithril rivets. And let's go and get that reinforced mithril elmo. Yep. I'm sorry if you're getting blinded by all these magical effect. And then a pair of mithril solarates. Mithril solarates. These ones. Plate and 2 rings. This have, you know, more than a freaking mithril. At least that's a nice little thing. While I stretch. And then I'm also going to need a piece of outgoat leather. Which I do still have a couple of. Right. Mithril solarates. Do you have the pieces required for the second round? I need to see a pair of all of these things, yeah. There we go. Well done, then. Your work is flawless. I would declare you victor this very moment, except I need you to relinquish this armor to the guild. As for the why, it concerns a potential dire loss of trust and reputation. Do you recall the time you aided one of our novices with an order of bronze hoplons? Well, I'm afraid young Swithin has failed to deliver once more. He has improved much in his craft, spurred on as he was by your example, but again the lad accepted a commission he could never hope to honor, and one does not break a promise made to the Maelstrom. I could drop full responsibility for this failure onto Swithin's unreliable shoulders and cast him out of the guild, but what worth is a guild that does not to support his own members, when they truly need it? Blansteer is a harsh man, but not entirely without reason. If you explain the circumstances, he may grant you a few extra days to forge your submission anew. What say you, Lyn? Will you yield your work to the guild? Sure. Baragod's blessings upon you, Lyn. Swithin. Swithin, come over here and show some gratitude. I don't know how to repay you for saving my neck yet again. I'll never forgive myself if it costs you your victory over Blanster. But the compassion you and the Forge Master have shown me this day will not be squandered. This I promise you. I'll work twice as hard, 3 times even. You earn your debt. I'll arrange to have these pieces delivered to the Maelstrom Quartermasters immediately. Meanwhile, you should hurry over to Blanster and explain the delay in your submission. What's this now? You let the guild have your armor to make up a missed order? What did I tell you? Those fumble-fingered parasites are holding you back at every turn. It was meant to honor the terms of our contest, no matter the circumstances. Now, you've neither the gear you crafted to show for your efforts, nor the time to forge a new submission. This round goes to me. I'd grant you this ain't the kind of victory a man looks for, but rules is rules, lass. And failure comes with consequences, so I don't want to hear no excuses for the final round. You just bring your best work to the table and we'll let the results stand for themselves. And now it's time for the final little thing. I must thank you again, Lyn, for sacrificing your time and effort to help our guild with that order from the Maelstrom. It behooves us not to fail clients such as they, no matter the reason. But, as is our fate, we are rarely afforded a respite from the flames of the Forge. I have recently been informed that Admiral Merlewhip will be inspecting various organizations, our own Armorers Guild included, and their roles in promoting Lim's Elements Strait to the east. The impressions made during this inspection will have a direct influence on whom the Maelstrom chooses as the provider of its equipment and other sundry supplies. Blanster, in his usual arrogant manner, has proposed that we seize this opportunity to have the Admiral herself serve as arbiter for the final round of your contest. Ugh, imagine how that bastard would crow if you were to suffer defeat before the commander of Limbs Elemental's Grand Company. The credence such a public failure would lend to his arguments would spell the end of the guild as we know it. You must not allow this to come to pass. Success in this third and final challenge hinges on your ability to forge what might need to be the most exquisite cobalt habergeon in the realm, and as you'd expected, it is one of the more demanding pieces of armor a student of your discipline can attempt. While I harbor not the slightest doubt that you will produce a habergeon of surpassing quality, let us tip the scales in your favor by augmenting it with a materia. A Heaven's Eye materia of the third grade should do the trick. Once your armor is complete, deliver it to Sergeant Swinburg at Hawker's Round, and he will see it passed along to the Admiral. So a cobalt habergeon, or habergeon? How do you say this word? Whatever, this thing. So 3 cobalt rings. Felt mithril. Let's go and begin with the mithril. And then it was cobalt rings, but I don't remember how many. 3 sets of cobalt rings. Let's go and get 2 more. That's a snazzy bow. Okay. Then felt and a piece of boar leather. There goes my final piece of boar hide. And then it's time for some felt. A really fun thing to make. Unable to craft, you do not have the materials. Huh? Oh, just with the quick synthesis, I guess? I don't know what happened. That was weird. %, still good normal quality. Nice. It's a hard knock life for us when there's RNG to deal with. Now it's going to use this together with powers again, Buyer of God's Blessing. And there we go. Now I need a Heaven's Eye materia 3. Heaven's Eye materia 3. And there it is. Split one of the rest. And then where's the habergeon? There it is. Melt Heaven's Eye materia 3. And there we go. And then we need to go to Hawker's Round. It's interesting how all of these like side quests have the same like progression basically. Different stories, mind you, but like this similar progression. Then there, you have a cobalt habergeon for me then. It would not do to keep Admiral Whirlwhip waiting. Consider your submission accepted. I think you'll enjoy the Admiral's methods of appraisal. Then, Blondsteer, this is the final round of your contest. The final round of your contest will decide victory or defeat. May the best armor win. Admiral, who are these gentlemen? Where are the mannequins? I find little can be learned from insipidly lifeless models, so I've decided to take a different tack. My men here will wear your armor submissions instead. I see. Do you intend them to take on varying poses for your inspection? In a matter of speaking, we wish to determine the quality of the armor, do we not? I prefer the direct approach. Maragot's beard, what kind of appraisal is this? You're really that surprised, Ananza. No finer way to test your gear than in the heat of battle. Using flesh and blood warriors is hardly necessary. What of the risks of injury? The armor was built to withstand far worse than this. Those blokes get hurt by them oversized hatchets, and I ain't got no business being here. You agree on that score, don't you, Lynn? Well, it appears your claims to excellence are more than empty boasts. Let's raise the stakes, shall we? Admiral, you go too far. Such expensive equipment is of little use if you cannot stop a bullet. Unless you think me reckless, my men were never in any real danger. I quite carefully inspected the sternness of both Harbour Johns before we began. You're not the only one with an eye for quality, dear Forge Master. In any case, it appears we have a winner. I don't believe it. The shot punched through me links. What's so damn different between your armor and mine? Perhaps the reason you cannot answer that question, Armor, is the reason you just lost to your colleague. Bloody hells. This was a most educational and entertaining experience. When the Maelstrom next finds itself in need of replacement equipment, I believe I know just the sort of armor to whom we shall turn. Or to whom we shall turn, whatever. Congratulations, Lynn. It was a close contest, but you've struck a telling blow here today nonetheless. The question is, does Blondsteer yet realize his folly? It would be best for you to seek him out and to learn where he now stands. Back to Blondsteer. Blondsteer, my boy! Come to see me beaten and broken, have you? You've made a bloody fool out of me. Bah, made a fool out of myself. Just too thick-headed I was just too thick-headed stubborn to see it coming. Reckon I ought to steer clear of the guild business for a time. Give me some distance to think on all this. But you told that Harpy Nonza that she better not let this place fall to pieces. I'll still be watching. Oh. 20 seconds when not in Oh, I actually never knew that. Anyway. Played ffXIV for a lot of hours. Only just noticed that. I very like Blondsteer to have the last word. At least now he seems to have grasped the idea that his way is not as absolute as he believed. After all, the greatest source of innovation is found in our connection with others. For instance, did you know that Cobalt was originally the pronunciation of cobalt. It was through trade with those beastmen miners that we first encountered and subsequently refined the use of cobalt ore. Without such contact, it is unlikely that the armor you forged for the last round of your contest would even exist today. There's only so much an armor can achieve on her own. It is mutual respect and a healthy dose of friendly rivalry that truly spurs the improvement of a craft. Plansteer's gravest mistake was to see his rivals as enemies. By walling himself off from his peers, he denied himself the knowledge of techniques which you were grateful enough to receive. His defeat was inevitable. And it was your determination and skill that taught him the dangers of stagnation. You embody everything I stand for, Lyn, and the guild is richer for your presence. Well, there you go. That is all. For the armorer questline. As I get myself a beautiful new hammer. Alright, so let's go and sort my inventory for a second, and let's go and sell some more stuff. You also go and like sell any item that I have only one of, like just muck boards. Clover I'm probably still gonna need at some point. Mayhaps. But like all of these things I'm definitely not gonna need. Alright, and then there's the pieces of money. When we are done with this, by the way, with all the questlines, I'm going to take a look at how much money I had before I started crafting, like doing this entire questlines, and when I am done. And I want to see if I got all the money back that I spent, or how much I lost or gained even. Anyway, my friends, that is not the end of the episode. Jesus, I thought it was the end of the episode, but no, not at all. It is time to start the Goldsmith one. Or we'll continue to start, you know, whatever. You know how it goes at this point. Proceed. I should probably go and get my gear repaired at some point, though. Let's go to the Avenue Exchange and get my gear repaired first. Because, although the crafting recipes are not that difficult, particularly, I am crafting, which does, you know, reduce my durability. Right. You know what? Now that we are here, I might as well go into this quest. For 12's sake, what leveling am I supposed to make without wares to sell? She promised a shipment would be here by now. Ah, you there, you're an adventurer, are you not? Might I ask for your help in tracking a shipment of goods sorely behind schedule? I know what you're thinking, but considering the client, this request is certain to benefit you as well. If you're up for the task, I would have you speak with the nesting heron at the bonfire in Central Thanalan. For the shipment to be so late, I can only imagine some new innovation of that Mutamix fellow has her preoccupied. Sausages. Amalja Striker, Amalja Impaler. Nice. What's this about a shipment? Oh, wow, Jesus. I did not... I'm so sorry. But, like... Everything, like, up until I saw her face, everything that I saw was like, this is not a woman. Anyway. What's this about a shipment? Oh, yes, of course. The package is prepared and ready to be shipped. I meant to handle it sooner, but I've become engrossed in the study of these syntheses. I'll be sure to send word of your visit along with these wares. You have not heard of these syntheses? I suppose you would have to visit the bonfire quite often to keep pace with Mutamix's myriad findings. Allow me to explain. Desynthesis is a new technique developed by Mutamix to break down weapons and armor into their constituent parts. In short, it allows the retrieval of those materials originally used to craft an item. On occasion, the process will also yield a peculiar crystallized mass. There is still much research to be done, but we believe the mass is formed from residual spirit bond energies infused into equipment by the hands that crafted them. Because the process is similar to the creation of materia, we've come to call these crystals demi-materia. Just imagine the applications. Fortifying weapons, creating new armors, the possibilities are limitless. It may also be worth mentioning that while some of the demi-materia byproducts seemed unfit for reuse, their ratings was not unlike the rubies and sapphires one might find for sale in Ul'dah. I imagine they would fetch a fair price if you were to show them to the right buyer. But if you are truly interested in learning more of the synthesis, I can think of no better way than trying it yourself. Perhaps the next time you meet, you can tell me your own findings. As we learn the ability to desynthesize. Which will give you, depending on your, like... You can basically desynthesize anything that you want. But if you have the correct stats for it, you're gonna be able to desynthesize... you're gonna be able to get more rare items, like the demi-materia that you was just talking about. And in certain other cases, also other rare items. You're in any case just gonna get something from desynthesizing gear. You can do it on a lot of different things. You can also do it on fish. Which is actually an interesting little side note. If you desynthesize big fish, there's... I look this up every single time I catch a big fish. But sometimes you have it that big fish can give you like pieces of equipment. Like pieces of glamour or whatever it can just get by dealing with those fish. It's kind of crazy. Let me go over to... I'll just go over here. And that way I can like instantly see if there's another quest that might have appeared. No. Alright, my friends. I'm gonna be back in a moment though, because I need to eat. And then we're gonna do at least the first quest of the Goldsmiths questline. Alright, I am back. And so is the cat. The cat has also returned. And then decided to go. And sit somewhere else. Which is perfect. Oh, Lynn, I'm honestly a bit surprised to see you. Most newcomers find Gigi's evaluation so harsh that we never hear from them again. I'm so glad you didn't take him seriously when he said your copper wasn't fit for a chamber pot. I mean, really, it doesn't even make sense. You could make a chamber pot out of anything. Anyway, I hope you've been working hard, because your next task won't be nearly as easy as the last. Listen well, Lynn. I want you to make me 3 copper gorgets. For this you'll need copper ingots, which you very conveniently learned to make last time. Now I directed you to purchase ore from Easton before. But there are other ways to obtain it. You could dig it up yourself, or perhaps befriend a lonely miner and convince him to share some with you. However you choose to obtain your materials, I'm sure you'll put them to good use. Right, so now I'm going to need copper gorgets. Which require a couple of pieces of copper. Only 3, so that means 6 copper ingots. Sure. There we go, 6. Get a load of 6. The cat has returned. And is now proceeding to climb on my legs. Pushing away my microphone. And has decided to lay down now. Infiltration successful. What a cutie. Too much for me to bear. I need 2 more of these. Leather, 2. There we go. Let's go and make this of high quality, because why now not? I have some copper gorgets to the left or something. Yeah, I have a copper gorget somewhere. Which is intriguing to me. But I still have some left. But I'm just gonna make these and give those to her. Whoopsie. Are the gorgets ready yet? Then don't keep me waiting too long. Well, in my opinion... Gorgets, your gorgets are gorgeous, Greenhorn. Oh wait, I meant grotesque, ungodly, an affront to the gods themselves. For shame. Beg your pardon, Lynn. I'm afraid that constructive criticism isn't one of Gigi's strong points. But where was I? Ah, yes, your gorges are well made, strong, and functional. And that's the least they should be, as they are meant to protect one's throat. When it comes to basic pieces like these, we don't have much creative freedom. Still, this doesn't mean we shouldn't put in less. We should put in less effort, especially since the techniques used to craft simple accessories are the same ones used to craft elaborate ones. Now then, you've learned how to handle your hammer, but there's another tool I'd like you to get acquainted with. With this grinding wheel, you'll find it easier to add the finishing touches when you craft. Try using it and you'll see what I mean. Keep your nose to that grinding wheel and you'll be ready for your next challenge in no time at all. Right. There we go. I'm so sorry, sir. Please don't... Oh, it's only you. Then, for a moment there, I thought my heart was about to fail me. I thought the angry miner had returned. Gigi wasn't pleased with the ore the miner brought in, you see, and he made this sentiment clear. In the only way he knows how. There was mention of the miner's mother in an alt code. Never mind all that. I have an urgent task for you. We've just received an order for a prodigious quantity of copper rings, and I'd like you to handle it. Now, this is an honest-to-God's commission, Lynn. You have to satisfy a paying customer, not your kind and lovely guildmaster. But I believe you can do more than simply satisfy. Now, the customer's waiting, so you'd best get started on those copper rings. When they're ready, come and show them to me, just for good measure. 12 copper rings, which require 12 copper ingots, which require ore that I don't have. There we go. Let's go make 12 of these. My cat is utterly entranced with the screen. She's just sitting on my lap looking at the screens. Oh well. No. You know how this works. You're allowed to sit on my lap, not on the desk. Right. This character like the way that this character looks reminds me of someone. No, whatever. Can I, for the love of God, stop doing that? Yeah, she reminds me of a certain other Mikote. Alright, do not do that, please. Yeah. That way, you're gonna destroy my beautiful little mouse mat. Which would make me really sad. That's lower quality, yes. No. Don't do it. No. So, are the rings ready yet? Copper rings. I have seen worse. Oh, Gigi, why must you always be so... Wait a minute, did you just say that you've seen worse? Lynn, that's as good as a compliment coming from him. I mean, when you consider what a scathing critic usually is, perhaps the fact he's not saying anything more insulting is a sign he likes it. After all, he's called your previous work utter garbage and an affront to the gods themselves. I half expected him to call these rings abysmal failures. Oh, I probably should take this opportunity to teach you a thing or two about what you made. Copper rings are rings made out of copper. They can be used to make chains and chainmail. Ah, you probably already knew that. Anyway, then, I would like you to deliver these rings to the client personally. I would handle it myself, but I believe it's very important that you learn how to deal with customers firsthand. The client is a Sultan sworn named Robert. Roberto! Who should be waiting outside the guild right about now. I told him he could wait inside, but he said he didn't want to distract the goldsmiths at their work. Not that I would mind a distraction like that. Oh my. Really? Also, half naked. Basically naked Mikote. Roberto. You're a goldsmith, aren't you? Did Mistress Serendipity send you? Yes, these shall serve nicely. Keeping the Sultana from harm is perilous business, you see, and we Sultan Sworn can never have enough supplies to keep our equipment in serviceable condition. You may inform Serendipity that she can expect full payment soon, and that I send her my fondest regards. Why is there... I cannot move the camera. There we go. How did it go, Lynn? What did he say about me? I mean, about your work. Oh, anyway, seeing how well your first commission went, I have high hopes for those to come. In fact, why don't you speak with the... you... You want to know what that was? That was like my cat, like me not expecting to get like a claw against my stomach, and I just jumped. In fact, why don't you speak with Eustace down at the quicksand and see what work is available for a goldsmith? Yes, I believe you're quite ready to handle commissions, independent of my supervision. Take yourself to the Adventurers Guild and try taking on a task or two. Son of a cat. You would not believe what just happened, Lynn. Gigi touched my bottom. I was assisting one of my goldsmiths when he reached out and grabbed it without warning. Then he has the gall to say that my bottom lacks sufficient shape and tone. I feel so violated and insulted. Glad Robert wasn't here to... Oh, that reminds me. Robert was back again with another commission. This time he wants a pair of fang earrings and a brass gorget made. And not just by any goldsmith, mind you. He specifically requested the artisan who crafted the copper rings. That's you, Lynn. You must be really impressed by your work. When the accessories are ready, pray present them for my inspection. I want to ensure that Robert's completely satisfied. So, next up we get fang earrings. Fang earrings. There you go. Bat fang, hard leather. I cannot see. Brass ingot. Right. Hard leather and a bat fang. Then I'm going to go and make myself some brass. And then make some fang earrings. Hello. You don't do that. No. 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 You're allowed a lot of things, but not that, yeah? I know. I know. No. Jesus Christ. Training a cat is apparently more difficult than I expected. No, we're not gonna do that. My hands are not playthings. They are a lot of things, but not playthings. Like a dog taking a nibble at my hand is fine, but like a cat's claws? No. Right, brass gorgets. 2 brass, 1 hard leather. How are the earrings and the gorget coming along? I don't want to keep Robert waiting. What is the name of like a female simp? Is it also just simp? Impressive work, Lynn. You clearly have an affinity for brass. The fine touches on these earrings in particular are... Thanks, brass. This presents a dilemma. I should not like these items, but they feel fresh. Your numerous mistakes, when taken together, give them an endearing quality. I'm reminded of serendipity. Her meager bosom and untoned buttocks are... Gigi, I'll have you know that my bosom is quite ample and my bottom is it's as firm as it can be. I simply don't wear clothing that... Wait, this has nothing to do with anything. I refuse to be party to a debate over my own body parts. We're talking about the earrings and the gorget you made, Lynn. Both called for brass, which is more useful than you may realize. While it isn't the fanciest metal around, it can be made to resemble gold in appearance, if shaped and polished well. And despite Gigi's comments, I believe you've done an excellent job. Robert will doubtless agree. Since you requested that you make these items, I suppose you should be the one to deliver them. You'll find them outside as before. Nothing to do here, I only just noticed that name. Wasn't really paying attention to the name. Because I'm an asshole. No, because I'm a man. No, that doesn't help. You know, it doesn't matter what I say. It's always going to end bad. Whatever. Good to see you again, Lynn. I take it the earrings and the gorget are ready. By the gods, the craftsmanship is exquisite. This isn't gear to be worn, but art to be admired. It is of little wonder that Serendipity was named Guildmaster at such a young age. She's a woman of incomparable talent, and a rare beauty besides. What? It was you who crafted these? Well, now, this is an unexpected development. I'll have to keep my eye on both you and your lovely Guildmaster. My thanks, then. You said it was my handiwork? I don't know what to say. For a customer to mistake your work for mine speaks to your growth as a goldsmith. At the rate you're improving, I can only imagine what customers will be saying about you years from now. Well, no gods. You should have seen it. It was glorious. A golden brown apple tart, freshly baked by a Bismarck train chief. I was saving it for an afternoon snack, but the moment I turned my back, that little terror ate it. Gigi ate it. Mammoths can't even taste food. And then he had the nerve to criticize my diet, saying it would lead to further deviation from conventional standards of beauty. Gods, I just... Pardon my outbursts. That's not why you're here. Keeping your skills sharp, I trust. You know, it occurs to me that the past 2 tasks I gave you weren't proper lessons. How about I teach you something new? What do you know about materia? Wait, don't answer that. Even if you're familiar with it, it's my duty as Guildmaster to instruct you in its applications to your craft. So let's review the basics. Materia are special crystals you can use to enhance the properties of items. Now, attaching these crystals requires an artisan's touch. So for this lesson, I want you to attach materia to an item. Not any item, mind you, but a staghorn staff, which I would have you craft yourself. This particular staff may prove difficult to construct, if only because the requisite horns must be cut from antelopes, which are not native to Thanalan. If you wish to purchase some, you might have some luck searching over the Sapphire Avenue exchange. If that doesn't yield what you seek, a trip to Godania may be in order. There are numerous types of materia out there, but it's entirely up to you what you use. I'm only concerned with your ability to attach it, after all. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the most important part. If all this talk of materia makes absolutely no sense, you could go to Central Thanalan and learn from Master Mutamix himself. Though, to be honest, I didn't understand a word he said. No questions? Splendid. Off you go, Lynn. I don't think that I have... Staghorn staff. Yeah. A marbled eye. Let's go and get this one first. And let's go and get some antelope stacks. I think I'm just gonna buy these. Because it's easier than getting them myself. No. No. Yeah? No? No. No. We're not gonna do that. No cable eating for you. Stop! Hey! Come on. No. I told you. We're not gonna do that. That's the one thing I do not want you to do. Do not. No. You have toys. My cables are not toys. My expensive cables are not your toys. For this, like, one situation, I would have loved to have a freaking Bluetooth microphone. Or headset. Which I technically do, but I don't like the quality of that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just go and... Whoopsie. I think I... Is it like this? Antelope? Yeah. I'm going to need 2 pieces of this, yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course people are going to ask ridiculous amounts of money for this. I hate this so much. Let's go to another server again. And go and just get it over there, because... Don't do it! Stop! You're ruining my shirt and my cable. And it doesn't even give you anything. It's not nutritious. It's not delicious. It's... I don't even know what kind of materials are in a fucking cable. Right. Let's go and get these 2. We're gonna start to have an issue in a hot minute, lady. There you go. She has given up. For now. Let's go and make that staghorn staff. You know, for this very particular situation, I really wish that we didn't have the dog. Because the dog is making it so that we... Well, so that the cat has to live in my room, basically. And it's... When I am making videos, it's quite something. And when I try to sleep, it's also quite something. Although we have now resorted to putting them in a different room. Because, you know, I cannot sleep with them in the same room. Trust me, I tried, and it ended horribly. The crystallized essence of past experience, so easily inherited. This is all rather silly. Would it not be more simple to attach materia directly to self? GG would be glad to try inserting crystals into Greenhorn's skull. No, bad GG, this isn't how materia works. Oh, please don't misunderstand him, Lin. I'm certain that he means well. As for your staff, sorry. It's very well made, and the material is perfectly melded. Nicely done. Perhaps you're wondering who would prefer a staff with a headpiece of bone, over one studded with jewels. Well, the thaumaturgist favors such equipment. Fangs and horns are the weapons of beasts used to kill and defend. Few materials are better suited than these for channeling the dark arts, or so I understand. I am the furthest thing there is from a trained thaumaturge, but even I can sense the arcane magics residing within the staff. Anyway, I trust you've learned something today about the importance of searching for the markets and about how to handle materia. I hope this knowledge serves you well in your future endeavors. Quest complete, and that, my friends, is going to conclude this episode of just us playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, we are going to go and, you know, for a change, continue with this quest. Goodbye.